Hi there, I'm Budda and you're watching Dr. Guitar, a show for all you guitarists out there. In today's episode, I'm telling you my blues scale, or a 9 or 10 note blues scale. It's the scale I use to play blues most of the times. I'm not using just a pentatonic, I'm using a lot of things. So stay tuned because I'm going to tell you all the tricks I used in this intro, and I use all over my blues playing, and not only my blues playing, but whenever I use a blues scale. First of all, let me thank my patrons, my dear patrons. Thank you so much for your support. If you want to become a patron, just go to my Patreon link. It's very simple, follow the steps. Or if you want to support the channel, you can also add to the tip jar through PayPal. Also, if you want to have some guitar lessons with me, just send me an email or a direct message via Instagram or Facebook, and we'll deal with it from there. Please visit my website. I got a lot of merchandising there, my band CDs, my own music, my pen drives with music, etc., or buy it here and on Teespring, some merchandising like t-shirts and masks, etc. You can also go to the link below. There's a link with some affiliated links. If you buy that from Amazon, I get a small commission, so you're helping me too. Stay tuned. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I hope you like the episode. My 10 or 9 notes blues scale. This is basically based on the pentatonic, but with some special addings. If you are curious, in the intro I was using my DL4, line 6 DL4 as a loop, and my line 6 M5 as a bass. I had the preset 1 octave down, and I'm playing the bass on the guitar, and then use it as a Leslie. I use it a lot on my Skype lessons, so I use the bass to create the bass sound and then to create a rhythm guitar. So now I'm playing against a bass and a rhythm guitar and not only just a guitar. What is my 10 note or 9 note blues scale? So my scale is based on the pentatonic. If we are in A, I'm guessing you already know the minor pentatonic shape. So this is the basic pentatonic. But now I'm adding to the pentatonic R1. So a blues progression is made out of at least 1 chord, which is a dominant chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. So all I'm doing is adding the extra notes that are within those 3 chords to the pentatonic. That's simply it in a few seconds. So the only note on an A7 chord that is not included on the minor pentatonic is the major third. So I immediately get I get a 6 note scale immediately. Okay, then I'm going to the 4, which is a D7. And the only note that is not included on the minor pentatonic is the 6, which in this case is the major third of the D dominant, this note here. So I have Okay? Then on the 5 chord, E7 chord, I have 2 extra notes that don't belong to the minor pentatonic. The major third of the chord, which is the major 7 of the scale, and the 5 of the chord, which is the 9 of the scale. So I get this note and this note, or this note. So I'm getting. So I'm getting extra notes, but the major 7 is a really strange note that I only use when I'm playing the 5. So the other note I really use is the blue note, the sharp 4. So I'm using it. I'm actually playing chromatic, half steps, so going. This is my scale. And I also play the 9 on top, but just on top usually. Then the major third. So I get a lot of chromatics, but I never play them in this order. So I play them when the chords demand it. So whenever I play my 1, on top of my 1, I will be playing the major third a lot and going from the minor to the major. But when I'm playing the 4 chord, I will be playing the major third of the chord, and I have to play the flat 7 of the chord, which is the minor third of the scale. I cannot play the major third of the scale. It will sound terrible on top of this, because it will make the chord go major 7 instead of dominant. So I'm changing with the chord changes. That's why they change too. So I'm playing. And I'm highlighting the different notes of the chord that don't belong to the minor pentatonic. So when I play the 4 chord, in this case D7, I'm highlighting the minor third, which belongs to the chord, and it's the minor 7 or the flat 7 of the chord. But I'm also highlighting the major third of the chord, which is a 6 or a 13 on the scale. If you're having troubles following my thinking process, please go and watch my other video, Basic Theory for Musicians. It's a video where I talk about all the intervals, all this stuff, all the 13s, 9s, etc., for all the degrees in the scale. So if you're struggling, please go and watch that first. And by the way, watch the caged system video too. It will help you a lot understanding this concept better. So I'm highlighting the D7 chord. When I go to E, I will highlight the 5, but I will also highlight the third of the chord, because the third of the chord is the major 7, so it will give me a different flavor. So listen with this in mind. So I'm really making an effort to highlight those notes, even in a not so musical way, because I'm trying to be obvious so you can really get it. But I'm really changing. I'm using this shape, this tritone shape, to go along the chord. So this shape is within the first, is within the 1. This shape is within the 4. And this shape is within the 5. So I can play like... I can basically play this shape and be around it using the pentatonic. And basically what I'm doing is using the pentatonic, but adding up this outside notes or this strange notes. And I'm saying outside, but I'm saying outside of the pentatonic, not outside the scale, because they are not outside the music. They are not out of tune. They are really great on top of the chords. So I'm really highlighting them on top of each chord to make it sound more unique. So listen again. So trying to use it in a lot of ways so you can understand it. So let's resume it and let me show you again my blues scale. I was playing it, I was showing it to you on the upper octave. So here. This is basically it, and this is what I use the most, but I use the lower octave too. So let's go. I'll show you how I use it. On the lower octave, I don't use the second because it doesn't sound good to me. So I use the 1, 3, or I even use this shape. So 1, flat third, major third, 4, sharp 4, 5. And I use the 6, flat 7, and either 8, or I can use the major 7 if I'm going to. Then, and here I'm using the 9. It doesn't work that good on top of a normal chord. It works within the changes. So these are the amount of notes that I'm using, and I'm basically changing my pentatonic to use on top of each chord. So this is the full amount of notes. Let me just record a tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the full scale. So this is the full scale, but as I told you, I never use it like that. The important thing is for you to know which notes work great on top of the chords, and it's basically playing the notes from the chords. So another exercise I will give you, if you play this dominant chord, you can play the arpeggio of it. And you can play it. So I'm not playing the full arpeggio, I'm playing the arpeggio of the notes that I'm fretting, plus the 7 I'm playing flat 7 and 8. So okay, and on the dominant 4 and 5, you can play. On the dominant 5. Exactly the same shape. So this is the caged system. I'm playing the arpeggio of the E-shaped chord and the arpeggio of the A-shaped chord on D and on E. So these notes of the arpeggios will give you not the shredding, not this, but the perfect notes for you to add to your pentatonic. And the great thing about this is exploring your pentatonic licks, not just limiting yourself to play the pentatonic up and down. This is just an exercise as important as it doesn't sound like anything musical because it's too obvious. But if you play something like I'm playing notes from the chords and from the scale. And another great trick is to add chromatic. So you can always, playing jazzy, bluesy licks, you can always use chromatic notes. What are chromatic notes? Are half-step notes, so passage notes. So if I'm playing, for example, I'm playing the 1 and the 7, I can play 7, major 7, and 1. So flat 7, major 7, 1. Although this note doesn't belong, it's in the way, so it sounds good. Any chromatic sounds good because it's a path. You're going from point A to point B, so you're moving from one note to the other. Blue Monk. It's playing chromatic up and down. It makes sense because you're going from one note to the other. Well, that's it. I hope this has been helpful to you. I hope you have liked the show. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe the YouTube channel and share it. Leave your thumbs up. It's very important for YouTube. If you leave your thumbs up, it lets YouTube know that you like it and that you engaged, and then YouTube will suggest the video to other people. Also, if you want to become a patron and support the channel, just go to my Patreon link and follow the steps. It's super easy. Or you can add to the tip jar on PayPal, or just buying some merchandising here on my Teespring store, or some products on the affiliated links. If you want to have some guitar lessons with me, just let me know via email or via a direct message on Facebook or Instagram. We'll deal with it from there. Thank you so much. Let me know in the comments what you think about the episode. I'd love to know, what do you want me to go through on this tips to play better suggestions. So let me know what you would like to for me to go through. Thank you so much. We'll see each other next week. Bye-bye.